Hey guys, what is up? This is Swift and today we'll be doing a unwrapping and a review or overview of the DeepCool Tesseract. This is basically a mid-tower PC chassis from DeepCool, the creators of very good value for money coolers as well as case chassis, as you can see right here right now. I cannot do an unboxing because the box is too big. I don't have enough space really for me to do anything to show you or whatever, but anyway, we'll take a look at the case itself and I'll just give some thoughts about it. So the unwrapping here, you see the case comes in your typical fashion. It's wrapped up in plastic, and then at the sides we have the two styrofoam soft styrofoam kind of protection to make sure that it's shipped to you safely and undamaged. So this is the Tesseract, again a mid-tower case. So we can just gonna unwrap it here and let you see the case itself. So this case here, it's a budget case, I would say. It's currently retailing in Singapore at a suggested price of $69 Singapore dollars. That's around 50 plus US dollars. I cannot find the retail price because for overseas people, because it's not sold anywhere else yet. I can't really find any stores that sell them. Amazon, Newegg don't have it for sale. So anyway, we'll just take a look at this case now. At the top right here, we have the I/O panel as well as two 120mm none is provided fan mounting options. We have for the I/O slots here. Let's zoom in. Okay. At the slots here we have, I believe this is the loading and stuff like that. We have one USB 3.0 port, your microphone input, headphone input. Here we have the headphone output. We have one 2.0 USB 2.0 port here. We have a reset button and a power button. Okay. So it's very nice matte finish on the black finish. It comes in two colors, white and black, and there are different options as well, which I'll show you at the front. Now that's the top of the case. Now moving on to the front. Now this is going to be hard to show. Okay, it's almost impossible to show. So this is the front, sideways anyway. So we can see here DeepCool. We have four 5 1/4 bays that you can use for expansion or whatever, for your CD-ROM, etc. And you can see here this red trimming. It comes in 4 different colors. There are red, black, blue, and I think white. I'm not too sure about that, but there are some customizations available out there, so you can basically buy one that fits your gaming rig theme or whatever. So there is 2 main colors that comes. For example, all this black can become white actually. So there are 2 main options with 3 different trimmings available. So that's 4 5 1/4 inch expansion base. Now moving on to the bottom, just do it in a clockwise fashion. So at the bottom we have a bottom mounted PSU slot. We have 4 rubber fits here. Not sure if you can. 4 rubber fits for you to stand. It's nice so that there will be enough space for air to flow in and out of the PC. You can see here, this portion here, there is a opening for air to intake. I forgot to mention the front is a fully meshed front, so that's more airflow for your PC. At the bottom here we have one rather cheap looking fan filter for your PSU anyway. So that's about it. At the bottom here, this isn't anything that you should bother. So moving on to the back of the case. Now this is the back of the case now. Basically it's your standard configuration here. We have one, I believe this is a 80mm fan, or is it 120? I will have to take a look. They provide it anyway. there's a provided fan, should be 120. We have your standard numbers of PCI Express back slots here. They are opened by using the push method to remove whatever, you know. Yeah, so you can remove all this. Again, more grips here for more airflow. The back for your PSU, and here is your I/O port. It generally looks okay actually for a budget case. So now let's move on to the sides here. Okay, maybe this, I'm gonna lie flat and I'm gonna zoom in. Alright, so you have a transparent window over here. Let's just remove this. A transparent window with two 120mm fan options, mounting options here. It uses quite a weird looking way of having your fan intake air with this grid thingy as well as this hole thingy. I don't really like the looks of this, but there has to be some way to allow your fans to intake in more air anyway, so I guess this is their option and it looks okay if you have your fans there and whatever. So you a small window cut out here, you can see inside the case, so it'll look pretty fine. So we're just going to take off the side panels. So it's mounted in by two thumb screws. You can see two thumb screws over here. Then you can just use your hand and just take it out. So this is the inside of the case. Oh, I'm really liking it. I did not expect this really. Okay, so let's just have a look at the case. Alright, we have here, let's just talk about the drive options. We have, of course, your previously mentioned 5¼ expansion base here. We have 3 2¼ inch 2.5, right? Yeah, your SSD. Usually you mount your SSD and look at that. They have dedicated slots for you to mount your SSD or whatever 2.5 inch drives. And we of course have the 4 3.5 inch normal drives up there. So it's really nice. I believe they say it's toolless because if you take a look at this, at the holes here, I believe all you have to do is to slot your drive in and it should work and be mounted properly. Of course, if you are looking for more security, you can use screws and stuff like that, and they provide holes as well if you want more 2.5 inch, and you won't have to use an adapter. Basically this allows you to mount your 2.5 inch base as well, so it's very nice. So you have a total options of 7 drives, 4 3.5 and 3 2.5 inch drives there. And okay, just take a look more inside of the case here. Take a look at this. Let's take a look at the accessories they provide. Basically you have a manual, all different kinds of screws and some quality checking. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, with more we have some cable ties inside for cable management, and inside we have all the, I believe, yeah, basically the fans, power for the fans. They provide let's just take a look, one 120mm fan in front, and that's about it. Your standard connectors here for your I/O ports, etc., LED reset, and so on. So we just take a look at the back. It looks okay, really. What I really like about it though is that it's all black. You have some cases that they paint the outside and the inside is basically just the raw material itself without much paint or anything, but this is all black, so it's very nicely done. Kudos to DeepCool. So now we're just gonna open the back. As you can see here, the thumb screws here, just have to take them out. They've made it really tight. Okay, alright, so this is the back of the case right here. Okay, hopefully you can see it. There is not much space. The clearance isn't that much, but it should be sufficient. Should be sufficient enough for your whatever cables that you have. And you can see here we have some of these knobs here. I don't know what you call them, but you can basically use the cable ties to create more routing options for your cables at the back. The back cutout is sufficient enough for you to mount your, it's big enough for you to mount most, if not all kinds of coolers at the back. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's see if I've forgotten anything that I haven't said. Alright, let's open up the bottom. All you have to do is pry open, I believe. Alright, that was rather hard, but all you have to do is to actually pull open the case and you will see that this is the fully meshed front panel. So this is what you see inside. And you can see here we have one, I believe, is this a, this looks like a 140. There are LEDs as well. Yeah, it should be red, I'm not too sure because I haven't turned it on, but opening it up, you see the front of the case right here. So yeah, I believe it's 140. Just let me just take a quick check. Anyway, if you're wondering, the VGA clearance is 310 millimeters in terms of the width, and the cable management clearance at the back is 22 millimeters, so there should be sufficient enough space. Now I'm just looking at the website, see if I have anything missed out. Okay, they are 120 millimeters, so this is a 120 front, and the rear is 120 as well, in case you're wondering. And the height clearance for the CPU cooler is 165 millimeters. That's, I believe, not counting if you have the front, the side panel fan installed. So that's one thing you should know. Yeah, so that's about it really. What I really like about the case is basically the mounting options here that they provide. But anyway, this is the unwrapping and overview of the DeepCool Tesseract. I really like it. For a budget case, this is definitely one of the few that you can look for. Basically, it's really well done. I wouldn't call it a budget case, rather I would call it a value for money case here. So anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say this Swiftier, and if you have any suggestions, comments, etc., just leave them in the comment section or just message me. If you like more of such videos, do give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe for more of such content.